Hi, it's time for our next block, which this one is called Patchwork Big O. So on this block, what I'm going to do is attach these two strips together, these two, and these two. Once I've done that, let's imagine that these two are together. I'm going to put them right sides together, and I'm going to stitch right down here. That will create a fold over just like this, and then I will have my cornerstone, which I think this is a nice way of doing it. I'm going to get that. I'll get these sewn together and then pressed. I am going to press them open. I already know that. And then I'll come back and show you what it looks like when I go to attach these four, which you can see I've already drawn my lines, and show you how that looks. And then we're going to put it together a little bit differently than what you've seen before. We're going to do what's called a Y seam. Not difficult to do, but I'll show you how to in just a few minutes. Alright, so I have sewn all of these together. I pressed all of the seams open. Show you on this one too. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to stitch actually right next to the drawn line, just about on it, maybe one thread to the right. So I'll just stitch right on down there. This material is going to get cut away 1/4 of an inch from the stitch line, and then I again will press that open, and then this is what it will look like. I'm going to get that done, then I'll be back to show you how we're going to go about sewing this with what's called a Y seam. I'll be back in a minute. It is time to start putting this together. So this is how I'm going to do this. All right. I need to make a mark on the back side of this block, and the mark needs to be 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. So I'm going to make a mark right here. This is my 1/4 of an inch. I've made my 1/4 of an inch mark, and now I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to line up these edges right here, and I'm going to stick a pin in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew 1/4 of an inch, and I will stitch all the way up to this dot. When I get to this dot, I'm going to back stitch. Okay, so now I want you to see it. Let me make sure I've got it. All right. All right, so let's take a look at this closer. All right, here is my dot right here. You can see I've got an extra tail of a thread there, but that's fine. You're gonna stitch down, and then here you back stitch. All right, now that I've done that, I'm going to take this over to the ironing board, and I am going to press this part right here open. I'll be right back. All right, so there is our very first step. The next thing that I am going to do is I am going to add this piece. So let's turn it all around. See, right there's the piece that I'm going to add. I'm going to fold this over, and I am going to stitch all the way. Okay? Not stopping, just going to stitch the entire length. Now I am going to stop and press this because I need to add this one next. Alright, I'm pressed. Flipping it over. Now let's put it right back where it was. It was just like this. Now I'm going to add this. Now if you feel as if you need to pin it, pin it. There's nothing wrong with pinning. If it makes you more comfortable, take that time and do it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm gonna stick a pin in there, all right? And I'm gonna sew that one. All right, I'm sewn. I'm gonna go press again. Again, I'm pressed. The next thing I'm going to do is take this one and I'm gonna fold it over like this. And then I am going to stitch again. Now on this one, remember we did 1/4 inch here, remember? So I'm gonna line this one right up here at the corner and all the way down. Okay, now I'm gonna stitch that all the way down to the end. Now, the next thing that you need to see is I stitched, and when I got to where my 1/4 inch mark, I back stitched right there. Now I'm gonna go press it and then show you the very last seam. Now my very last seam is to come back here and just stitch all the way across, and then my block will be done. I'm gonna go press it again. All right, this block is called the Patchwork Big O, and I think you can see where the name comes from. This block is not difficult at all. It's an extremely simple block, but you are going to want to pay attention to the way you put this on. If you'll notice on one of them, it starts at the top, gray, or the flower print goes down to the green print. On this one, it starts on the green print, goes down to the gray print. So it definitely, that part is directional. Everything else is not directional at all. If you have any problems, here's the back side. All my seams are pressed open. If you have problems attaching the last piece, what my suggestion to you is to go ahead and take out a couple of stitches. If you do that, it will all go fine for you. You won't have a problem getting that last piece in there. So that is the end of the Patchwork Big O. Our next block is called the Southern Star. So I'll see you for that one.